Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Drunken Kobold. Today we are doing a walkthrough of the catacombs from the Blood Pact. We're also going to do a quick walkthrough of the actual Blood Pact area because we're going to talk how we could relate this to Dungeons and Dragons. So when you step into the catacombs for the first time, you see that each of these actually works really well with a 1-inch tile grid. One at a time. And each of these could translate to roughly about 5 feet. When you finish the Blood Pact, a set of stairs open here that allow you to go down into the catacombs quicker, but we're just going to take a quick walkthrough and see how we would build this room for Dungeons and Dragons. So you can see that this is a 4 by 5 foot room that would use the dungeon tile set. You would probably use for here your base set and your 1-inch tiles, especially for this one set that's just darker right here. This room here, again, you would use your dungeon tile set. You can use a little bit of scatter terrain, both from Warlock and from Icons of the Realms, as well as stuff that you 3D print yourself. These here could be from the Icons of the Realms Monuments set. This room is 4, 8, 9. This is a very large room, but again, you wouldn't need anything other than your 1-inch tile set and your base tiles. This room here, once again, your 1-inch and your base tile set, but you could also use curves and angles, your 1-inch curves and angle sets, to do these sections on the walls here very easily and make this room look really nice when you are putting it together. This winch doesn't necessarily need to be here. You can put doors here from your 1-inch tile sets. This room here, this room would use some interior walls, your 1-inch curves and angles sets, and then your 1-inch base tile set. This one here would be a very complicated build using your curves and angles sets, the 1-inch. Also would use your stairs and ladder sets. You could put trapdoors here rather than staircases, or you could put staircases here and then just, notify to your players that these are going down. The gap here, you would have to actually make it a proper gap. For that, I would recommend using your outside walls here. I would use your 1-inch exterior walls here, and then for building here on the inside, your interior walls, but then exterior walls all the way around. Let's go down the stairs here. And then this one here. This one is going to be a little bit craftier of a build. You're going to need your pillars here. You can get those from Pools and Pillars. You can get these pools from Pools and Pillars, but this is also where you're going to be using your curves sets. And for this, you would actually need your full curves, your 2-inch curve sets. Over here, there's some tapestries on the walls. Because you have been using half-height walls for this, you wouldn't have the tapestries. But if you wanted to build this section with the full height walls and then just be half height for the corners, you could do that. And pardon me, the tapestries would be in with your dungeon tile set for the full height walls. But because of how many times this uses the 1-inch sets, I just personally wouldn't use the full height walls just because it would look so uneven on the table. Now, for the Blood Pact, if you wanted to translate this into a quest, you would need a ranger stat block, a mage stat block, and a warrior stat block. You can find those in the NPC section of the monster manual. There are some low-level NPCs that you could use to fill this, since it is just a beginner quest. Now we're going to go down the stairs. And this is where the catacombs get a lot of fun. So again, just an open room, and this is just a standard dungeon crawl. There's a person here training on the warped cockroaches. We're going to join them on this. We're going to join them. They don't take long to kill. They respawn quick, so there's no pressure to, you know, it's not like we're hogging up valuable resources here. And this is what we're after. We are after this mass part 1 right here. For a level 1 spawn, these guys, we'll take all these bones too. For a level 1 spawn, these guys are the worst for training. They have only 50 hit points, whereas your troll rangers that are in Berthope, they have 100 hit points, same points as the goblins, so they're not optimal to kill, but you do want this mass part 1. We're going to put that up there, put that there, put that there, put that there, put that there. Organize our inventory. As you can see, I've already been training down here, so mass part 1, 2, 3, and 4 have been acquired. They are dropped by any creature that has warped on it. And for this dungeon, you're going to have a lot of sets you're going to want. You're going to want your 1-inch curves and angles. You're going to want your base tile sets. For these hallways, you're going to want your 1-inch sets. This is going to use pretty much the full array of the warlock tiles. Now, while you're down here, there are these little fonts here, almost like pedestals, and they have statues on them. I've already collected the statues. You can take those to Xena outside, and she'll give you cash for them. They are in with the warped crew. So these are the warped flies. They drop mass part 2. Warped rats, mass part 3. Skeletons don't have any drops that we're after, so they're just a training mob if you want to move up, but they do have the next gem statue. Warped bats. Warped bats drop mass part 3. They do not have a gem statue in their room. We'll take that money. The corpse archers, level 18. They have the next statue piece. Skeleton goblins, they have a statue piece. And then corpse mages, they have the second last statue. And for that, you get 100, 200, 300, 600,000. I believe that there is a total of 2,000 gold to be made down here on the statues. I could be wrong on that. Some candles that you could use. Pools from pools and pillars. And now here's the final boss over here. Dragathner. He is a zombie mage. So you could be using you can use pretty much any undead miniatures that you want down here, and it's going to be pretty much a-okay. We're going to take this guy on. He's a little bit higher level than us. We're level 23. He's level 26, but let's see how this turns out. We're going to cast Anticipation next. And then we're going to Lesser Sever. We're going to Slaughter. And he's going down. And then he auto drops Mass Part 5 and Bones. And he will auto resurrect as well. But we're going to take the diamond statue. And that is where we're at with that. And we now have the entire mass set, which combines into the Mask of Dragath Nirn and completes an achievement. The Mask of Dragath Nirn, it doesn't have any special abilities to it. It's a pretty simple mask, but completing that will give you 10 achievement points towards Fresh Worlds if you're playing Fresh Worlds. I do believe that this is part of the Lumbridge task sets, so you could go get a reward from Explorer Jack. But yeah, no, this is this could be easily turned into a basic dungeon crawl for Dungeons and Dragons to, whet the appetite of some new players. There's a lot of loot down here. If you're playing a RuneScape Adapted, these things drop runes like mad crazy. So if you're training mage like this fucker is here, you'll be able to get runes for your training really quick. Let's just see how much this statue's worth. We'll go up the secret entrance that opens at the end of the Blood Pact. Exit the catacombs. And here is Xena, use statue. You found one of Dragon's Nirn statuettes. Will you sell it to me? I'll sell you the statuette. She gives you 1,000. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be 2,000 gold that you can get from this task. I'm going to use the mask on her. Does she say anything about the mask? No, she doesn't say anything about the mask. All right, so that is the walkthrough through the catacombs. It's really simple. It's a nice melee training spot. I'd say that you could safely train all of your melee, range, mage skills all the way to level 30 safely here before you move on to your next victims, which would probably be hill giants and moss giants. They have decent drops. But yeah, no, so that is the catacombs from the Blood Pact. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment down below. There's the Ghost for the Restless Ghost quest. Since we are here, I will do that next. I will finally get off my lazy ass and do that. I may actually build this at the game shelf on the table. I don't have enough miniatures to populate it, but I do want to actually build the catacombs themselves if I have enough tile sets to do so, just so I can kind of show you what it's like. The graveyard up here, you could use the Forgotten Cemetery set from Pathfinder Battles, and you can use either this from Monuments and Statues for Icons of the Realms, or there is one that does the task for this for in the Pathfinder Battle set that I just mentioned. So yeah, no, like, and then over here, you could probably build this using your Town and Village 1 set. This is one reason why I would like a dungeon tile set with windows, because this is not the Town and Village set. This is brick. If the inside of the brick had a Town and Village wall, but the outside of the tiles was brick like this, that would be really cool. And I think with Steamforged Games making a RuneScape 3 version for tabletop, that this would be perfect. But in the meantime, cheers, and may the rolls be with you guys.